What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com. Here are my DFS picks for NBA playoffs. Sunday, May 5th. These picks apply for DraftKings and FanDuel. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button and hit that bell icon so you don't miss our new videos. In this video, I'm going to go over my top picks for today's NBA slate. And if you stick around to the very end of this video, we'll use the Draft Dashboard tools to make a DFS lineup using the picks we just made. Okay, who do we have at the point guard position? I like Ben Simmons from the Philadelphia 76ers playing the Toronto Raptors. Ben Simmons has scored 29, 26, and 33 fantasy points in the last 3 games of the playoffs, averaging 43.2 fantasy points per game on the season in an average of 34 minutes per game with a 22% usage rate. Ben Simmons is $7,000 DraftKings salary. He's $1,200 more on FanDuel, so I love that DraftKings price. Projected at 42.6 fantasy points here tonight, that's 6.1 times value. There's an implied total of 214.5 points in this game. This is a home game for Philadelphia, and I think Ben Simmons breaks out this game. He's had subpar performances, his ownership's going to be low, his price on DraftKings has come way down, so I'm buying low on Ben Simmons. I think he can get 40 fantasy points tonight. So I like Ben Simmons here versus the Toronto Raptors. So our DFS tools for MLB Baseball are now live and working. You can click on the MLB tab to change sports and check the tools out for baseball. They're really helpful. They're going to save you guys a ton of research time. Remember, we added projected ownership, and that will be updating throughout the day as injury news changes. We also added the fantasy points per minute stat here for each player. And we also added a stat that's new to the industry. We call it the hit percentage, and it's the percent chance this player has to hit value at his current DFS salary. And you can access all these new stats even on mobile devices by tapping the dash rank icon. And we've also added custom exposures, so you can go through each player and set the max exposure you want in your lineups. And we've added a late swap optimizer, which allows you to download your lineups from DraftKings or FanDuel, re-optimize them using your custom exposure settings, and then you can upload them back to your DFS site, and you can edit as many entries as you want in seconds. This allows you to get a huge advantage over the field when there's late breaking news, like a player announced in the starting lineup, late injury news. This is what the pros are using to take advantage of you. So get in here and try it. It's going to make you a lot of money if you use it right. Okay, who do we have at the shooting guard position? I like Will Barton from the Denver Nuggets playing the Portland Trailblazers. So Will Barton has scored 48, 21, and 12 fantasy points in the last 3 games of the playoffs, averaging 23.5 fantasy points per game on the season in an average of 28 minutes per game with a 20% usage rate. Will Barton is $4,000 DraftKings salary. He's $600 more on FanDuel, projected at 20.6 fantasy points here tonight. That's 5.2 times value. There's an implied total of 210 points in this game, so I like Will Barton on DraftKings at $4,000, but on FanDuel I think I would prefer JJ Redick at $4,300 instead of $4,600. So I like Will Barton on DraftKings and JJ Redick on FanDuel. Real quick, guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. You can try all of our DFS tools for all sports. You can try the position optimizer, where you can see the top players ranked for each position. And we added a new player trends tool, where you can see the top salary differences between FanDuel and DraftKings. It's a really good tool to help you pick out value for the site that you're playing on. Oh, and if you're tired of doing research every day, we just added a cheat sheet that shows hand-picked plays for the slate. No confusing stat lines, no headaches, just a simple cheat sheet that shows the absolute best players for your lineups. Okay, who do we have at the small forward position? I like Al-Farouq Aminu from the Portland Trailblazers playing the Denver Nuggets. Al-Farouq Aminu has scored 28, 27, and 17 fantasy points in the last 3 games of the playoffs, averaging 23.6 fantasy points per game on the season in an average of 28 minutes per game with a 14% usage rate. Al-Farouq Aminu is $4,400 DraftKings salary. He's $900 more on FanDuel, so I love that DraftKings price. Projected at 28.4 fantasy points here tonight, that's 6.5 times value. Al-Farouq Aminu definitely underperformed in his 46 minutes of play last game, only 28 fantasy points, but I'm expecting a better performance from him tonight. I think he can reach that 25 to 30 fantasy point mark, and at 4,400, that's a great value play. So I like Al-Farouq Aminu here versus the Denver Nuggets. Before I continue with the picks, I'm excited today because we added a new contest for everyone watching. If you want to enter the drawing for $100 PayPal, all you need to do is like this video, hit that subscribe button, and make a quick comment below to be entered into the drawing. We'll reply to a random comment and let you know that you won, and then we'll send you $100 PayPal. So it's that easy, and we pick a new winner every Saturday and announce them in our video. So get your comment in now so I can add another entry for you. Okay, who do we have at the power forward position? Don't forget about Kawhi Leonard. Pascal Siakam is doubtful for this game, so if Pascal Siakam doesn't play, you got to get Kawhi Leonard in your lineups, and I like Serge Ibaka from the Toronto Raptors playing the Philadelphia 76ers, who have a middle-of-the-pack defense overall, and they give up the 9th most fantasy points to opposing power forwards. Serge Ibaka has scored 12, 3, and 19 fantasy points in the last 3 games of the playoffs. He's only playing 13 to 19 minutes, but if Pascal Siakam is out today, Serge Ibaka will get a bump in playing time. Serge Ibaka is $3,600 DraftKings salary. He's $1,400 more on FanDuel, so I love that DraftKings price. Projected at 17.7 fantasy points here tonight, that's 4.9 times value. If Serge Ibaka plays over 20 minutes, he can get you 1.1 fantasy points per minute. Serge Ibaka could be the key to unlocking those higher priced players and could very well find himself in the winning lineup tonight. So I like Serge Ibaka here versus the Philadelphia 76ers. And there's a couple more value plays right here. Maurice Harkless is a great price, only $4,500 on FanDuel. And James Ennis is only $3,400 on DraftKings. So there's a lot of value to play around with today. It's going to be fun to build lineups. Okay, moving on to the center position. I like Joel Embiid from the Philadelphia 76ers playing the Toronto Raptors. Joel Embiid has scored 62, 26, and 30 fantasy points in the last 3 games of the playoffs, averaging 55.5 fantasy points per game on the season in an average of 34 minutes per game with a 33% usage rate. Joel Embiid is $9,300 DraftKings salary. He's $2,200 more on FanDuel, so I prefer that DraftKings price. Projected at 48.7 fantasy points here tonight, that's 5.2 times value. So I like Joel Embiid on DraftKings, but over there on FanDuel, I think I'd prefer to play Nikola Jokic for only $10,600 versus the $11,500 that they priced Embiid at. So you're going to get Embiid at lower ownership, that's for sure. Joker's coming off of an 84-point ceiling game in 65 minutes of play, whereas Joel Embiid's coming off a 62 fantasy point game, but in only 28 minutes of play. So Joel Embiid's going to be fresh, but chances are Joker plays more minutes than he does. I'm going to have exposure to both Joel Embiid on DraftKings, Nikola Jokic on FanDuel. Oh, and don't forget about Marc Gasol down here at $4,800 DraftKings salary. He's projected at 34.7 fantasy points here tonight, and that's 7.2 times value. He hasn't seen that 34 fantasy point game yet, but he's getting close. Just a lot of value on this slate. I am so excited to build lineups. If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smickety smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player player for this NBA slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again, and good luck.